Doing this video on smoking and curing bacon. First thing I wanted to show you was the vessel I'm using for the curing process. Just a regular glass baking dish. As you see, I have a plastic grate that is going to be in the bottom of the dish to keep the meat away from the moisture that I will be removing from the meat. I bought this at Home Depot. It was about a 3-foot long sheet used for like drop lighting fixtures, and I just cut out using a Sawzall the amount I needed, and it works great. And you can throw it in the dishwasher when you're done. Okay, here's pork bellies. Generally, I like to use one pork belly, about 5 pounds. Couldn't find 5-pounder today, so I ended up with 2 that add up to about 5 pounds. As you can see, it looks like bacon. The smaller piece here still has the skin on. I like to leave the skin on. For some reason, the bigger piece didn't have the skin left on, but it's still going to taste great. Okay, start to cure. I don't buy those, the commercially available products. You see, they have a lot of sodium nitrate in it, and I just like to keep mine pure and simple. I use kosher salt. Just sprinkle on a decent amount of kosher salt to cover the belly. This is what's going to be pulling the moisture from the meat. This curing process is going to take about 5 days. Just enough salt to cover the meat. Okay, the next process is going to be flavoring, and you can get creative. If you want, more of a savory bacon, use whatever spices you desire. I'm going for just a regular kind of a maple bacon, so I'm going to be using maple syrup, and I'm not using that cheap imitation syrup that you see in the plastic bottles. We all know what brands they are. Look at those ingredients. One thing you do not see is maple on the ingredients. All that is corn syrup colored and flavored to taste like maple syrup, but it's not maple syrup. This is 100% grade A dark maple syrup. I'm sure those of you who live in states and countries that produce maple syrup would agree with me. If you see somebody using that cheap stuff on a video, turn it off. As the salt, opens up the pores of this meat, the fibers, to drain out the liquid, it's going to be kind of exchanging a lot of this nice maple flavor in there. It's going to taste great. Okay, this step is done. What I'm going to do now is cover this container, put it in my refrigerator. Refrigerator is set for 38 degrees, and I like to maintain that steady 38-degree temperature, and it's going to be in there for 24 hours until the next process. This is day 5 of the curing process. Again, just to kind of recap, what I had been doing is the first day I put some salt on it, some kosher salt, maple syrup. Every 24 hours I was draining off the excess liquid that the salt was drying out, and adding just a little bit more salt to the surfaces of the bellies here. Right now the meat is a lot firmer than it used to be, and it also has that kind of a translucent look, almost like cured salmon has. It's cured, it's ready to smoke now. What I'm going to do prior to smoking it though is I'm going to rinse off the bellies under some fresh water, and then I'm going to place them in like a Tupperware bowl full of fresh water. After 30 minutes, I'm going to drain off the water and then fill it back up and just soak them for another 30 minutes, just to, again, just sort of leach out some of that excess salt. And then we'll start to smoke. Okay, so the soaking process is done now. Again, it was 30 minutes, drain the water, 30 minutes, drain the water. I've completely patted the bellies dry with paper towel. And now I'm going to get them on the cooker. All right, so I have the bellies are on the smoker now, but I have not added any wood. I've got my smoker running at 125 degrees, and I'm going to run this for an hour at 125 with no wood, just charcoal burning, to make sure I dry off the water that's on the outside of the meat that I couldn't obviously do it all with a paper towel. It won't accept the smoke as well with moisture on there, so I'm going to run it for 1 hour at 125 with no wood. Then I'll bump up the temp and add some hickory. Okay, the hour has elapsed and I'm ready to start smoking now. Not going to lift the lid. I've bumped the temperature of my cooking chamber up to 200 degrees now. 200 degrees. I'm going to add some hickory to the cook here. So 200 degrees, I've got the hickory going, and I'm looking for an internal temperature on the bacon at about 150 degrees. I'm anticipating it taking about 3 hours or so. Again, I'm going off the internal temp. I want it to be 150. So we'll check on it in a while here. Okay, we've hit 150. It's done. Let's see, looks great. I'm going to go ahead and take it into the house now, let it cool a little bit, and then we'll put it in the fridge. Won't be ready to slice until it needs to go in the fridge overnight to just kind of set up a little bit. Alright, here's the bellies. Again, let them cool down in the fridge overnight just to firm them up to get them ready to slice. I do not have a electric meat slicer, so I have to go the old-fashioned way. First slice is just more or less to get that end off, and I'll cut that up for beans or whatever. But as you can see, it's looking like bacon. Cool thing about this is you make it as thick as you want. The other thing you'll notice immediately is it's not slimy like the store-bought bacon, because there's not all the nitrates in there that makes that slimy, nasty feeling, and it just smells awesome. So one more step in the process, so don't go anywhere. Now this is off the smaller pork belly I had, and it still has the rind on there. You saw these already, the bigger ones. There it is. This is the result of all the labor of love here. Thanks for watching.